Good morning. Our Universalist heritage proposed that each person is made of divine goodness. Science offers that we are stardust. Whatever your beliefs, know that you are a gift inherently worthy of love. You are a gift, and we are glad that you are here. Love is the spirit of all souls. So in this moment of our shared journey, may you feel witnessed and honored wherever you are on your personal journey. Let us now greet our neighbors, especially new or returning people, with our names and our pronouns.
And when I rise, let me rise like a bird joyfully. And when I fall, let me fall like a leaf gracefully without regret. And when I rise, let me rise like a bird joyfully. And when I fall, let me fall like a leaf gracefully without regret. And when I rise, let me rise like a bird joyfully. And when I fall, let me fall like a leaf gracefully without regret.
Okay. So, yeah, give them a hand. Now that we've heard that once from our great singers up here, I'd like to try to sing it as a congregation. The words are this. They go, when I rise, let me rise, like a bird, joyfully. The next sentence. And when I fall, let me fall, like a leaf, gracefully, thank you, without regret.
Do we have them repeat it? Let's have them
Let's try
repeat it.
Yeah, okay, so when I rise, let me rise, like a bird, joyfully.
And when I rise, let me rise like a bird joyfully.
And when I fall, let me fall like a leaf, gracefully, without regret.
And when I fall, let me fall like a leaf gracefully without regret.
Welcome again to all who are with us in the moment here and those who are with us online and to those who will be catching us later on. My name is Fran Quigley. My pronouns are he, him. I am serving as your worship associate for today's service. We are joined today by Reverend Dorian Condre, our communications and membership coordinator, whose pronouns are he, him. Nancy Olson, our director of congregational life and faith formation, whose pronouns are she, her. Liz Elsmore and Gabe Perrieri are our co-music directors, pronouns she, her, and he, him, respectively. Together, we are your worship team. Our senior minister, the Reverend Katie Romano Griffin, is on sabbatical, but Reverend Katie will return to us on September 14th. Today, we are pleased to also welcome Reverend Tet Gallardo, who uses she, they pronouns. Reverend Tet served as the former president of the UU Church of the Philippines during the pandemic. She'll be delivering our reflection today. Known as the first out lesbian minister in the non-Western world, Reverend Tet's commitment to breaking down acts of injustices is clear through her work as an artist, an activist, and minister. She has served over 40 social development organizations, including those in Burma, East Timor, and Nepal. She has spoken in person and virtually in over 25 states, and also in Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Tokyo. She has recently launched her third book called Friends Against the Machine, and she is now focusing on street ministry. She is living and being with indigents in a rural town in the Philippines as minister for the UU Fellowship of Valencia. Again, we'll hear some of her writings today, and also we'll hear directly from her in our reflection. We extend a warm and joyful welcome to people of all ages. If you have little ones with you, though, nursery care is available for your convenience. We invite everyone to connect with us by filling out a connection card. You can complete the physical cards, which are located in the end of the pews, and place it in the offering basket, or actually now you can fill out a digital connection card by scanning the QR code that's located just outside the sanctuary. This is a fantastic way to let us know how we can support you and the way you can share any interests, comments, or questions you may have. A few quick announcements. We invite you to join Administrative Assistant Roan in the library after worship on August 17th and 24th. That's the next 2 Sundays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. to learn about how to best utilize Realm. You can have your questions answered. You can get personalized assistance with making updates to your profile. On August 17th, the session will focus on Realm basics and profile creation. And on August 24th, the session will focus on Realm directory and group communication. Also, for our food pantry, which you may have noticed outside the sanctuary, we are continually seeking non-perishable food items and personal care items. As you know, there are a lot of people struggling in our community, including folks living nearby. They could use our help. We are especially looking for bottled water, either both large jugs, there's a few of those out there now, and individual sizes, and you can place your donation in the box provided in the hallway. We will be conducting a blood drive on Sunday, September 14th. Jim Scrementi is outside the sanctuary, and after service, he can sign you up for the blood drive happening on Sunday, the 14th. Now I'd like to welcome Annie Rahill up for an announcement as well.
Good morning. So those of you who were here last week, I'm just going to say the same thing again for those who weren't here last week, so you can kind of switch off if you were here last week. My company is in the process of creating a new website for All Souls. The goal is to have it launched at the same time that Reverend Katie comes back from her sabbatical, so that she starts her new settled ministry with us with a brand new website. What we are doing, one of the sections of the website is Meet Our Congregation, which is a little video that we are putting together with the help of some of you, where literally those who did it last week, thank you. We got 4 little videos last week. We ask you 3 questions. How long have you been coming to All Souls? Why do you come to All Souls? And how are you involved at All Souls? We don't want big, deep answers. We just want authenticity and answers from the heart. So the 4 people who helped us out last week, thank you, thank you. In fact, I think there are 2 people here today who said they would help, so we will be following up with you 2. And we will be trying to find another couple of folks to help us. So thank you in advance for that. And personal announcement, just in case anybody else is keeping count, Bob and I will be empty nesters in 1 week and 6 days. Thank you.
I think being an empty nester deserves a round of applause, don't you think? As we begin our time together, we acknowledge the land itself and those who have sustained it through the generations. We are here upon the unceded land of the Lenape, the Myaamia, the Kaskaskia, the Shawnee, and the Kickapoo people. These people were pushed from their land, and their children were stolen from them. So as we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make reparations. Our call to worship today is the first words that we're hearing from Reverend Tet Gallardo. It's called Let Us Gather. Let us gather ourselves, our breaths, our intentions, our rest, our faith, and our trust, and weave them all in a moment that is fleeting, a comfort, a pleasure, a struggle, a question, just a nod. Our movement counts on this very moment. May we find joy in being part of it.
The Kenyon family will be lighting our chalice this morning. Thank you. Some of you might remember Kaya from just, a couple years ago. She's about this tall. You know, when we light this chalice, it reminds us of, to continually renew our promise, all those things that you hear us say each week. But one of the things I want to lift up today is when we light this chalice, it is the light that connects us, not just with each other, not just with the other UUs, but with the larger world and what's happening here and there and everywhere. So as we read our covenant together today, if we would keep in mind that we are saying this in our connections with others. And if you would please rise in body or spirit as we share the words that are printed in your order of celebration. Spanish and English. If you're online, we love to hear where you are lighting your chalice from. And let us say the words in Spanish. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia y el servicio es su ley, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. And if you would stay standing while we sing number 21 for the beauty of hymn.
Sense to sound and sight.
Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of human care, sister, brother, parent, child, for the kinship we all share, for all gentle thoughts and mild, source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
Hey. And Kaya has offered to share the story today. So pretty exciting to have her back here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have the story today. Here's the cover of the book. It's from Everything is Connected by Jason Gruel, illustrated by Ignacy Font. Go.
I'll start.
Oh, Everything is Connected by Jason Gruel.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
It's okay. We're nothing perfect.
It's on my phone. Okay. Everything is connected, and since you are a part of everything, you are connected to everything.
You are connected to a human body. 2 hands, eyeballs, teeth and toes, elbows, a butt, and even a nose.
To a heart and some lungs, and a strange-looking stomach, a brain that's so smart, there's no peak it can't summit.
Oh, but you're not just a body. You are bigger than that. You're connected to people, to everybody, to moms and dads, to sisters and brothers, uncles and cousins, grandfathers, grandmothers.
You're connected to friends and to teachers at school, and even to people you don't think are cool. You're connected to people in Denver and Maine, in Paris and Baghdad, to strangers in Spain.
You're connected to every human on earth. Wow. And they are connected to you and me.
You are also connected to hedgehogs, and cats and dogs, and squirrels and rabbits, birds and cows, and deer by the herds, monkeys, tarantulas, dolphins, and snakes.
Oh, friend, you are connected to every big, small, hairy, slimy, snuggly, scaly, floppy, flappy, bristly, beautiful creature on earth. Even blobfish.
Blobfish, you say?
Yeah.
Surely not that.
Yeah.
They don't look like me, talk like me, or act like me, and they probably stink.
They might. They might. But you see, we're connected, and we all play a part. In life, we're the same. You know, we're all blobfish at heart.
Now this is the next part, though bonkers it's true. I'm afraid you're connected to everything humans have made. To toys and to playgrounds, books and to chairs, gardens and medicine, language and prayers, buildings and bicycles, buses, balloons, hammers and paintbrushes, tractors and spoons.
But also to chicken pox, bullies and lies, to greed and pollution, and to trash piled so high.
You're not just connected to things that you like, things that are comfortable, easy, or nice.
Right.
As a human, you're part of the everythingness, and sometimes it's scary and a big, ugly mess.
But the good news, my dear, is that you are quite powerful, a force that's in everything, timeless and powerful.
You're connected to happy, connected to sad, to the past and the future, to thoughts that you have had, to Pharaohs, Ben Franklin, T-Rex, ancient Greece, to love and to poverty, hunger and peace,
To Jesus and Buddha and Muhammad and Moses.
to spaceships and aliens with noses like hoses.
Oh, you are connected to all that will be and or has been.
You're this very moment where all things begin.
For you are the sun and the moon and the stars, Venus and Jupiter, Neptune and Mars.
Comets and galaxies, voids and black holes.
You are the universe.
Perfect and whole.
Thank you. I'm going to take the admonition that I'm a blobfish at heart with me the rest of the week, so thank you. Please join me in taking a few minutes to note that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. As you've seen in the know that, excuse me, the group Jewish Voice for Peace meets right here in our building and coordinates the response to the ongoing suffering in Gaza. So we bring our attention to those who are suffering because of the genocide taking place in Gaza and those who are working towards easing the suffering and ending that genocide. Also, let us look into our hearts and hold a moment of silence together for the joys and sorrows that are in our hearts but are not yet named. Thank you.
Hello, All Souls Indy. I'm Reverend Pep Gallardo, and I'm here once again with you. Today, I'd like to speak about the weight of living. In our journey through life, we encounter many forces that shape our direction. Some pull us forward, like desire to be with someone or setting a goal for self improvement. It pulls us forward. Meanwhile, some forces may feel like they're holding us back, like our adult responsibilities, our family commitments. This is what I mean when I speak of weight. Those elements in our lives that sway outcomes because they hold value or because they burden us. Think for a moment about what carries weight in your own life. Like for me, this ringing of the chainsaw far, far away every day is a weight on my shoulder. What also carries weight for me is my family. They give me the motivation to wake up every day. Think for a moment about what carries weight in your own life. What influences guide your path because they matter deeply to you? What responsibilities do you shoulder that sometimes feel heavy to bear? There's an old song that says, "He ain't heavy, he's my brother," or something like that. During the 1940s Japanese War, a young boy carried his deceased brother's body for proper burial. If asked why, he might have said that a brother isn't heavy. I don't know if you saw that iconic photo, historical photo of this young boy, probably only 6 or 7, carrying his brother on his back, an infant brother. I don't think he would say his brother was heavy because he really loved his brother. Yet this act of love profoundly influenced the direction of his life. This is the paradox of the meaningful weight. What we value most can simultaneously be what demands the most of us. Many people experience life itself as a heavy burden, a responsibility thrust upon us without our consent, for example, like climate change. A lot of the young people just woke up to this climate disaster that older generations have left them. Some people might fantasize about returning to non-existence, finding the weight of consciousness occasionally unbearable. This feeling is actually quite normal, the fleeting wish to escape the demands of being. In my younger years, this sensation overwhelmed me frequently. While I never attempted self-harm, looking back, I recognize a pattern of self-sabotage. Driving recklessly, drinking excessively, sabotaging relationships, treating myself with indignities. These weren't direct attempts to end my life, but rather unconscious expressions of my struggle with its weight. I've since changed through meaningful conversations, difficult confrontations with my inner demons, through the support of friends, silent battles with personal monsters. I've gained perspective. I've come to acknowledge that both the good wolf and the bad wolf exist within me. But I'm now deliberate about which one I feel. The good wolf reminds me of my agency, my power to say yes or no, to act or refrain, to live with intention. It helps me discern which weights deserve my consideration. Our lives are influenced by numerous weights. Some we recognize clearly, others operating beyond our awareness. We are drawn by desire, love, attachments, and habits. We are guided by values, morality, and our sense of order. We are pushed by aversions or pulled by influence, clout, or doctrine. Amid these competing forces, we can lose ourselves. rocked mindlessly between extremes, lifted up one moment, sunk down the next, struggling like someone caught in quicksand. Quicksand where resistance only deepens entrapment. As someone who is neurodivergent, I've often felt most alive when experiencing these pressures intensely, making decisions every few minutes, carrying heavier weight, surrounding myself with complexity and stimulation. But with age, I've discovered a different kind of aliveness in weightlessness. Having paid my dues, perhaps, I now find joy in soaring freely, unburdened by unnecessary weights. What does it mean to be alive? How do we know we are truly living? Is it measured by biological functions, our breath, our consumption, our excretions? Or is it defined by our passions and desires? What constitutes the genuine business of living? Is life merely a series of routines, or is it the act of creating new routines and expanding possibilities? Is living simply a process of input and output, receiving and giving? Is self-awareness sufficient evidence of being alive? Even artificial intelligence can demonstrate forms of self-awareness, yet we question whether this grants them a right to life. Who deserves this right? We extend it to the unconscious human, recognizing something sacred in their existence even when awareness is absent. Japanese scientists have discovered brainless organisms, moss-like creatures with no neural structure. But they can solve mazes effortlessly. Single-celled organisms without brains can reproduce. These discoveries suggest that consciousness doesn't necessarily reside in brain structure, but in environmental sensitivity and responsiveness. What is consciousness alone? But is consciousness alone sufficient for meaningful life? The art of living. As an artist, I feel most alive when creating new perspectives on familiar things. I experience aliveness as a bird perched on a branch about to be cut down, yet knowing I have wings and won't fall with it. This isn't fear, but anticipation, a sense that life transcends mere survival to embrace transformation. Have you observed how Native American elders speak? At a retreat in Santa Cruz in 2016, I watched elders communicate with such mindfulness, never rushing, understanding that words create worlds. They prepared each truth carefully before revealing it, allowing understanding to unfold naturally. Do you feel more alive when time accelerates or when it slows? The Greeks recognized three dimensions of time: Chronos, Eon, and Kairos. Chronos measures sequential time, the ticking clock and structured schedules. Eon encompasses cycles and seasons, acknowledging appropriate moments for every activity under heaven. But Kairos holds special significance. It represents the time we actively create, the moments we intentionally seize. Kairos emerges when we declare, now is the time to marry. Now is the time to grow up, It marks a threshold of transformation when a single person becomes a spouse through a simple decision. You respond, I do, to a proposal, for instance, an act of will. Living in this sense becomes a creative process requiring mindfulness and care. But there's the fear of transformation. Too often, we numb ourselves to our own impact, hiding in routines that fuel the machine rather than nurturing our authentic living. We fear life because genuine engagement brings rapid change. And with change comes grief. Even when that change brings greater security, freedom, and choice, you know that with every choice, there's something you have not chosen. There's something that you leave behind. We mourn transitions because they require leaving something behind. The business of living demands our presence in the process of transformation, understanding how a shack becomes a home, how a bean becomes a latte, how water turns to wine. Our labor and intention shape our world, and this power requires us to recognize both our own creative force and that of others. The fear of transformation can be so overwhelming that destruction becomes the easier path. Cutting off, canceling, eliminating. We witness this throughout history in wars, violence, and societal responses that choose control and division over curiosity and dialogue. There's a life-affirming and a death-worshipping culture. At war, here we observe the contrast between life-affirming existence and what Erich Fromm, a psychologist, termed necrophilic culture, one that worships death, control, and destruction rather than life, freedom, and creation. Nihilism in its extreme form strips life of meaning, reducing existence to mere survival, power, or pleasure. It sees no inherent value in creation, transformation, or human connection. The nihilistic impulse responds to the unknown with violence, shutting down possibilities rather than exploring new paths. Operating with this mindset, we seek not to nurture, build, or connect, but only to control or destroy what we don't understand or what we can't control. Yet, our humanity deserves moments of breath, feeling, and process. I find it deeply humanizing to engage in life's rituals. Consider making tea, cutting the leaf, placing it in a pot, steeping it in boiling water. This simple ritual reminds us that life isn't instantaneous. We aren't disposable things unworthy of time and attention. We deserve patience, reverence. We deserve moments. This is why I prefer making my own coffee, roasting beans, grinding them, preparing water, mixing it myself. Through this process, I feel my real weight in the universe. So the sacred power of ritual is important. Rituals aren't mere habits, but intentional acts bringing meaning to daily life. They create presence, grounding us in the moment to savor it, rather than just do away with it. Next steps. We savor the moment rather than allowing life to pass unconsciously. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great Unitarian thinker, understood this when he wrote, "The creation of 1,000 forests is in 1 acre. Small, repeated actions shape entire lives." Whether lighting a candle before prayer, breathing deeply before meals, or greeting sunrise with gratitude, rituals remind us we are participants in existence's grand unfolding. Henry David Thoreau, another Unitarian transcendentalist, embraced ritual in his deliberate living at Walden Pond, stripping life to essentials to learn what it had to teach. Rituals emerge in liminal spaces at the cusp of change, when transformation must be savored and treasured, encompassing both grief and celebration. Normalizing our capacity for both allows life to flourish, for life is constant change. Embracing the creative process of living, to live fully, means resisting the necrophilic culture Fromm described, rejecting nihilism in favor of creation, embracing our role as active participants in shaping life rather than passive observers. Life isn't something that merely happens to us. It's something we engage in and co-create. To be alive is to be in motion, aware, present. It means understanding that our choices, routines, and rituals shape our world. Even in grief, fear, and uncertainty, we continue moving, transforming, living. This process is sacred and complex. It embraces a lot of extraneous factors like all the background noise we've been having, deserving our full participation, mindfulness, and care. There exist forces that can simulate living but have no empathy for the messy, imperfect, unreliable nature of human existence. True living embraces this beautiful imperfection, finding meaning in the weight we carry and the weightlessness we sometimes achieve. In recognizing both the burdens that ground us and the values that lift us, we discover that what it means to truly live with weight and purpose. May we carry our weight with grace, cherish what truly matters, and remember that even in our heaviest moments, transformation awaits. The weight of living isn't just what holds us down. It's also what gives our lives substance and meaning. In this paradox lies the profound mystery of human existence, that our burdens and our blessings are often the same.
This week we are sharing our offering plate with the Brendan Park Live Music Festival. If you haven't heard of the festival, it's a one-day family-friendly community event that's going to be held right here on All Souls grounds on Sunday, August 31st from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. There's more information about the festival at Connection Corner when you turn to the right as you exit the sanctuary, the QR code and a flyer, etc. Our contribution today is going to go towards providing well-deserving students with scholarships to continue their education beyond high school. These students are from the Brendan Park neighborhood. They are graduating from Lawrence, parochial, and/or the Indianapolis Public Schools. Excuse me. To contribute, you can gift cash or a check into the collection plate, or if online, you can go to allsoulsindy.org where you'll find a link that says Give to All Souls here on the left side. Please remember, if you're paying online or with a check, to indicate if your gift is a pledge payment or if it's for Share the Plate. Thank you for your generosity in supporting the mission of All Souls, and thank you for your continued love for one another and for this world. The morning offering may now be given and will be gratefully received. Thank you, Jane. That was beautiful. For our closing words, we're going to hear again from Reverend Tet Gallardo, continuing the theme of her reflection. The title is May We Live. May we live and truly live. May we be alive and come alive every day. May we give living energy and sustain ourselves. For the great circle of life counts on our breath, counts on us just being who we are, just trusting how we are part of it all. Now we ask you to please rise in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I make my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did when, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment